Good evening. It's mind-blowing. We just finished Hanukkah. Tafshin Pei base. What was it, Hanukkah? Amazing. Amazing. Everything ties together. Welcome to Spur Maisis. Maisa Mechocham V'Tam. Maisa from the Sophisticate and Simpleton. All right, so why don't we take a quick look at the text and get down to business. Here we no, that's not the one, that's not the one, that's not the one. Hold on, here we go. All right. So we said that the two sons, one of them is sophisticated and clever, the other one is simple. And we said the simple one became a shoemaker. And the smart one decided that this is not what he wants to do. This is too low a job for him. Then he meets with these, he goes to the market, check out to see where. So there's no need. I mean, their fathers told him, you know, get down to business, start doing something immediately. But the clever one did not want to become a shoemaker. So he said he wandered around. He wandered around the marketplace and saw a large wagon with 4 horses and harnesses moving quickly. And he asked the merchants, "Where are you from?" They say, "I'm from Warsaw." "Where are you going?" "Well, to Warsaw." Very interesting. We're talking about they're coming. Where are you going? You're going to Warsaw. Where are you coming? You're coming from Warsaw. You're going to Warsaw. What's the story here? This Indian of going into the market, just finding himself, find where he could just give me a second. Basically, the Anna said that when they tell him they're going to Warsaw and they're coming from Warsaw, is it means that this, you know, there are all these, you know, all these suffering, these merchants. They represent the frum Yidden, the frum Seichen, that Hashem Shemitah mitzvahs, but they have just a little bit of a problem here. He's going to the market. Okay, he is going. He already, he is going to find an avodah that is fitting for them. To sit down and make shoes. In other words, to make any kind of ishtadlus as a shine that has to do with him. That's not befitting to a chacham just to learn a pshat. He wants to find something that fits somebody like me, and it's not a small thing, because many times, especially people that are smart and sophisticated, they find, like what I'm going to say, Tillim, I'm going to say Mishnayos, I'm going to Chumash, with all due respect, this is not, it's below my pay grade. It's somebody like me, should either, learn Gemara, Be'iyim, and ask kashas, and the problem with them, there's nothing wrong with learning Gemara, obviously, and Rishonim and Achronim, Baruch Hashem. The problem of the Chacham, which is many times, the Chacham within us, is that until you find something that is really befitting your level of intelligence and sophistication, you don't do anything. And the thing is that even when you find already something that, as we will find later, if you find something that is really befitting for you, being that which was good enough was not good enough for you, when you find something that is, quote unquote, good enough, you're already into the habit of, well, maybe it's not good enough. Maybe even that which is good enough is not good enough anymore. And it becomes a cycle. It's called Chochmas Nefulos. In Torah, Lamed Daled, that we'll learn in the Breslov Shul on Thursdays, we mentioned the meaning of Ahavas Nefulos. The loves which are, misplaced, and therefore they bring a person to the various loving. They're also in of Chochmas Nefulos. Chochmas Nefulos is that you keep on doing, if I'll do this, I'll find something which is really good, which is really important. You keep on looking. Why? Because one day, maybe I won't be able to serve Kodesh Baruch Hu in this particular mitzvah because I'm preparing another avodas. And after you find, then when I'll find all like Kabbalah, we'll learn this, we'll learn that. Only when I'm done with all that, then he starts This is called Serve Kodesh Baruch Hu with Avodas Nefulos. Where did the Chacham found himself? In the marketplace. Marketplace is a place, the place of the Chitzonium, as Rabbeinu says. Anybody that knows, this is a place of danger. Anybody that knows exactly what kind of merchandise he needs, he can go there, get what he needs, and come back. But anybody who goes spazieren in the market, to try to find something interesting without a specific goal. He's looking for interesting things. He's looking for attractive things. The immediate result of this, it's how it opens up your eyes to see the beauty. You know what? The Yetzer Hara opens up your eyes to see the beauty of this world. And basically, when your eyes are open to see the beauty of this world, you're done. You're done for. And we say, okay, he saw this wagon, running with 4 horses and moving quickly. That's I don't know if it's a Rolls Royce, but it's a Jaguar, or it is an Infinity, or whatever it is. That is the Lincoln Continental. I don't know what the fancy car of the day is, but there's beauty to it. There's beauty to it. There's a there's a supermarket that is dedicated to gourmet food, the kosher gourmet food. So it's not an usser, it's not an isser to eat gourmet food. Obviously, it's not a great mitzvah either. The biggest problem with that is that once you starting going to the market and you're trying to find something which is interesting, because you're not going for anything specific, you're just looking to see what's interesting, your eyes open. And what do you mean your eyes open? Your Olam Hazadika eyes open. And the wagon, when they ask him, where you're going and where you're coming from, they're giving him the right answers. They're saying they're coming from Varsha and they're going back to Varsha. Varsha is Gematria of Chukas. Means everything is from a Kodesh Baruch Hu. We're going, it's Hashgacha. We're going back, it's Hashgacha. Here, the merchants that he meets are people that are steeped in Taivas Momen of Heter. It's mutter. They're not doing it Nisr. And because of that, they no longer have, the time to look, to find out, for Hashgacha, to find who is really leading the wagon. Oh, they're making all the right noises. We come from Varsha, we're going to Varsha, that we believe everything is Hashgacha. But nevertheless, they're running around. They're going to faraway places because there are deals to be made. There's real estate to be developed. There's all kinds of investments to invest, and it's all heter. It's all heter, and we're lost. We believe but you're already on the outside, or rather on the inside of Adam Hazan. And we said, before, he asked him, he says, maybe, let me just take a quick look here at the text again. So we can say, we can continue. He says, we're from Warsaw, we're going to Warsaw, so perhaps you need help. He asked them. And they thought he was intelligent, enthusiastic, so they consented and took him with them, and he traveled with them, and served them very well on the road. And when they arrived in Warsaw, since he was intelligent, he thought to himself, well, since I'm already in Warsaw, why should I remain with this man? Perhaps there's a better situation than them. Let me go and inquire and see. Sounds, first of all, the first mistake the Chacham did is he left his father's house, which is a place of menucha and simcha and satisfaction of Hashem. He becomes a servant in the Merkava, but hey, You got to pay your dues, pay Rebbe gold. What he had to do, he had to serve them, he had to clean out the wagon, to shine their shoes, oil the wheels. It looks like a great Yerida, for the Chacham. And another mistake is that now he has to go from one town to the next, from one job to the next, without a home to call his own. Also made the mistake that he became, he's working for strangers. He's not sure that they're even going to pay him. He doesn't know them. His eyes lead him. He doesn't see anything, only to get to Warsaw, to get there. He goes after Chochmas. All the time he wants to go to another Chochma, to a bigger Chochma, without any practical avodas. He wasn't planning on working in Warsaw. He just wanted to see it. This is a Sogas Be'alma. It's like learning Kabbalah because you want to know the various things. There's no avodas, there's no kiyum mitzvahs, it's something which is pretty common in avodas Hashem, that the person wants to understand avodas and avodas Hashem, and the Maaseh doesn't do anything with it until the years pass, and he hasn't done anything. And again, when he comes to Warsaw, he's intelligent. He says, Sam's already in Russia. Why should I stay with them? Maybe it's a better place. The Chacham, as we said before, is somebody who is constantly doubting, maybe I'm not in the right place. Maybe I'm not doing what I ought to be doing. Maybe I should be doing something else. As we will notice in Mitzvah Shem later, the biggest problem of the Chacham and the biggest advantage of the Simpleton is that the Simpleton is always present. The Sophisticate always wonder, maybe I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Maybe I'm supposed to be elsewhere. Maybe I'm supposed to learn something else. Maybe I'm supposed to have a different career. Maybe I'm supposed to do a different avodah. The question is that, what is it that for the Simpleton enabled him to be satisfied with where he's at? Supposedly, he doesn't have anything. He's just a shoemaker. As we'll see, he cannot even daven properly, whatever. And the Sophisticate, he's a smart guy. So why isn't he happy with his smartness? Why is he all the time saying, maybe the pot of gold is on the other side of the rainbow, the other end of the rainbow. The answer is that it has to do with a staklus on Olam Hazeh, meaning the Sophisticate went to the market. He saw the dazzling sights of the fancy cars and the wealth and the gourmet food. And that got him to the point, it's just one thing feeds the other. And the status of Olam Hazeh is, maybe I'm not where it's at. Because the image of how do you know what is the Yetzer Tov and what is the Yetzer Hara? The answer is, if it's flashy and if it glitters and if it's winking and if it's making promises, then it's Yetzirah. If it's like boring and dry and like, what's the deal with that? Then it's the eights of the Yetzirah. It seems so counterintuitive that the Yetzirah promises, something so wonderful. And if only you will learn this, and if you learn this, and if only you do this, and if only you do that, then wonderful things are going to happen to you. And they never do. They never do. It's a dream. The thing that enables the Olam Hazeh to tempt and seduce us is really planted in the root of it, is that we feel that we are worthless. What the tzaddikim do, what the Talmidei Chachamim do, whatever they do, now that is something. That is something. The Chaim Kanievsky, Yoshiv, Stipler, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rav Yosef. Now you're talking about, Baba Sali. Then you're talking about, that is doing Yiddishkeit the way it's supposed to be done. But by me, what do I bring to the table? What do I bring to the table? I mean, my learning is superficial. And I can really concentrate a lot because my mind is driving me crazy and I'm ADD. And I can't wait until I finish learning what it is that I need to learn and go off to something more interesting. The reason that the Yetzirah is able to trap me is because I feel like my avodas Hashem is worthless. Okay, let's not say worthless, but compared to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, come on, man, it's ridiculous. Okay, maybe Lubavitcher Rebbe is a bad example because he's tzaddik. It's a different class. It's not fair to compare myself to somebody of that ilk. But people sitting in kollel learning all day, or people that are davening with all the koiches, whatever it is, not. I come to shul and I don't even feel like davening. I daven because if I won't daven, if I won't do what it is that I do, I will feel so guilty that I won't be able to concentrate on my day, and eventually it'll, lead me astray, and I'll stop davening altogether. So it's dangerous. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to shul, and I'm going to make sure that I daven as painlessly as possible. Get it over with, and I daven. Fine. Okay, now I want to say, okay, why don't I daven b'kavana? What are you talking about? Me? The way that I daven, what is it worth? So it becomes a vicious cycle. Why don't I put my koiches into it? Because who the heck am I? Okay, why do I feel who the heck am I? Look, I don't daven. So daven. I don't feel like davening. Who am I? I'm not somebody important. I'm not a tzaddik. I'm not somebody who's doing with this tefillah. He's not. If I can't, you take a look at somebody else. Take a look at some kind of Baal Tshuva that just came 2 minutes ago, and he thinks that he is like tearing the sky open with his davening. Who the heck does he think he is? I know my place. You know, I'm just a little guy. Just a little guy. But you're not. You're not a little guy. Because when it comes to Yiddishkeit, and this is what Hanukkah taught us, and this is what the Tam is teaching us. There's no such thing as the little guy in Yiddishkeit. Compared to Kadosh Baruch Hu, we're all little guys. We're all insignificant. We're all nothing. We say it every morning. You know, all the great people, famous people, as if they never existed. All the wise ones are like, they don't know anything. You know, this is what we're saying in the morning. And this is the entire word. I mean, the difference between a person and a behemoth is nothing. There's no difference between them. And then we go and says, yeah, but we're the children of Avram, you know, your beloved, we're the children of Yitzchok, that was, you know, that was went on the altar, you know, to be shechted for you. We are the children of Yaakov Avinu, that from the love that you loved him, and the simcha that you are happy with him, you call him Israel and Shurun. And so we have to bless you, we have to bench you, we have to. So we're saying two separate things. On one hand, we're saying, Kol HaChachamim, all the Chachamim are like nothing, don't know anything. All the Anshe Hashem, Kilo Ayu, all the famous people like they never existed. You know, all the mighty ones don't have any koich at all. The whole thing, everybody is a nothing. However, we, forget about it. But we are also Chachamim, Gibarim, whatever. No, the point is, when you're looking at things from the eyes of Olam Hazeh, of who is wise, and who is strong, and who is rich, and who is clever, and who is famous, and Chinami, it's all baloney. It's a bunch of baloney. The wise and the clever don't do nothing, don't know nothing. The famous ones, like they never existed. The mighty ones, they're going to end up in the ground just like anybody else. When you're looking at things from Olam Hazeh point of view, and Achinami, everything is nothing. Except the neshama that's finally going to give judgment, is going to have to give an account for whatever it is he did. In other words, when somebody, chas v'chalila, takes attack and says, you know something, I'm going to get away from Yiddishkeit, chas v'chalila, they said about the Vilna Gaon, I think they said about him, that he once went in the street and he saw one of the maskilim, the OTDs of their day. It was smoking a cigarette on Shabbos. So he asked him, why are you smoking on Shabbos? So he told him, you know, I'm not religious. You know, let go of the whole thing. wondering about the cigarette. The Vilna Gaon told him, you know that you will have to pay for every puff they're taking from this cigarette in Shabbos. It's not like just you'll have to pay for the idea that you became fried, that you went off the derech. And we merely went off the derech, so what do you expect? When you smoke on Shabbos, eat not kosher, blah, blah, blah. No. You're going to pay dearly for every single crumb of Isser that you did. You could be a chacham, you can be famous, you can be this, you can be that, and it all means nothing, but there's literally hell to pay for every nekuda, is for every year, every stray thought. There's hell to pay. However, as far as being a Jew, as being the child of Abraham, which means you're Gemalit, the child of Yitzchak, the child of Yaakov. Every single, not only just every single one, but you see, even when you're Yeshamayim, it's easy to think, you know, I'm gonna have to pay dearly for the bad stuff I did. But people forget very easily that you're going to get good for every crumb of good that you do. This is something that the Yetzer wants us to forget. Everybody knows that a bad thought, a stray thought, a dirty thought, is a bad thing. Rabbeinu says it makes a metzias mamish. We have to deal with it, to pay for it. Now they know, whatever it is. But people forget that if a bad thought is a bad thing, a good thought is a very good thing. 500 times bigger than the bad thing. Mida Teva Meruba. The fact that you came to shul, you're mechaven, you're davening more or less, whatever it is, but you came to shul. You put in your film, you came to shul. Everybody comes to shul. Oh yeah? If you would have gone, chas v'chalila, to a place of ill repute, once, maybe 10 times, you understand that it's a very bad thing, right? Just going there. I'm going to pay just for going there. Going to shul is nothing. The bad stuff is really bad, but the good stuff that's supposed to be 500 times bigger, that you go to shul every single morning, when you daven more, you daven less, quicker, slower, that is nothing by you. By me. That's the thing that brings us down. That's the thing that makes the chokhmah flashier. So something, let's think about that. Let's go there. Why? Because my Yiddishkeit doesn't satisfy me. Come on. What do you want to compare it to compare it to Reb Luzer Kenning, Reb Simcha Bar-Lev, Reb Shmuel Shapira, or Mr. David Kivak, or Reb Eliezer Shlomo Shik, or who do you think I am? Come on, man. I don't want to say I'm a bum, chas v'chalila, I'm part of the gang. I'm part of my, I'm just a simple guy. He said, what do you want? He said, but my soul is starving. I want something to keep me busy. I want something to keep me excited. The learning is not keeping me excited because I'm so broken by myself. I'm so, worthless by my own eyes. So the things that I do in Yiddishkeit, they're good. Listen, don't get me wrong. I don't want to make, a villain out of myself, but let's not go overboard. Let's, he would say, let's, let's, very nice. It's okay. I'm part of the crowd. It's fine. It's okay. It all comes because my Yiddishkeit doesn't mean that much to me. One of the biggest tricks of the Yetzer Hara, probably the biggest trick of the Yetzer Hara, is that it tells you that for you to be fascinated by your Yiddishkeit, by the things that you did, is a dangerous thing. You'll become Baal Gaiva. For you to be melamed zchus on yourself, that you fell, that you did because for whatever reason, that's even worse. Because that's going to open up the gate, the floodgate, to kol davar asa. When the truth of the matter is that if you were to take something, and that's the Nekuda Teva that Rabbeinu speaks about again, again, again. If you were to take the fact that you went to shul in the morning and you put on your tefillin, yeah, we know how you done. Yes, I know how I done. I know what my mind was, and I know everything. But if I were to actually sit in front of Kodesh Baruch Hu and praise the fact that I was able to sit in the shul with my tefillin on, and I heard Kriyas HaTorah of Zois Chanukah all the way to the end, and what a great thing it is, and I will rejoice in it, the Yetzer Hara will ring all the alarm bells. Gaiva, Scheigetz, Chas v'chalila. Chas v'chalila. You know why? Because if you enjoy the good things that you do, you will do more of them. When you do something that you enjoy, you do more of it. If you do something you get a satisfaction from, you will do it again. If you touch a hot pan, you're not going to touch it. You're not going to touch it again. The Yetzer Hara is turning that which is sweet into bitter. Because it tells me, listen, for you to be happy about what you did, that's the road to perdition. Next thing you'll be a Baal Gaiva. No. So what? I will go and be a Seicha because, come on, how much a Talmid Chacham can already be? Because my Yiddishkeit doesn't mean anything to me. Because I don't have a Muna in who I am and the value of what I do. If I'm also smart and intelligent, and a go-getter, and I can do things. That's it. I fly business class to and from. Maybe first class. I'll drive all the fanciest cars in the world. I'll be friends with all the richest guys in the world. I'll be friends with them. They're my friends. They're my friends. Maybe, maybe not. But they're my friends. It means I belong in that crowd. I belong in that olam. The olam of gourmet foods, of riches. Maybe I'm not the rich guy. Maybe I'm not this. But I belong to that crowd. They're the ones with the fancy cars. But they're my friends. I'm part of that. Because that's what the glitz is. This is where the good taste, the sweetness is. The most important thing that a Yid has to realize and he has to grab and has to work on is to like his own Yiddishkeit. To like whatever it is that you manage to do in Yiddishkeit. Now I'm talking about the small things. Small things, I mean the details. The fact that you're wearing a kosher tzitzis. The only way that you'll ever get to rejoice in the fact that you're wearing kosher tzitzis is if you'll give it time. And you'll talk about it. And you tell us, I'm wearing a kosher tzitzis. Now, truth be told, everybody says it saves from Gan Bris, it helps this, it helps that. I don't understand how it helps, because, well, you don't say it helps because I'm not mischazik to be happy with that. But if I were to actually ask Kadosh Baruch Hu, I'm wearing kosher tzitzis, the reason why it doesn't get me anywhere, the reason why it does not set me aflame, even though it should, is because I lack emunah in it. I don't have a taste in it. Do me a favor, help me. I need to feel a taste in the tzitzis that I wear. And I need to have faith in it. I need to have faith in the fact that I put it on film. Rabbeinu says it's the crown of the king. Okay, so Rabbeinu says crown of the king. So it's written in the book, and the book is closed. And it's in the Sforim Shrunk. It says that. It says that. Yeah. My mind, so put it on film. No? If Chaz v'Chalila you were to eat pork, you'd be shocked, wouldn't you? Yeah. So why are you unbelievably shocked? How you put on film? It's the opposite. If this one is shocking, this would be 500 times more shocking. But it isn't. Okay, so no. For this I have Yitzhak. For this I don't have Yitzhak. All right. Let me ask Kadosh Baruch Hu to please open up my eyes and ask Kadosh Baruch Hu to be zoche to ask Kadosh Baruch Hu to have a tam in a mitzvah. I'll repeat that. I need to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to have the merit of asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to have a taste in my mitzvahs. As pathetic as it may be. Because seeing how pathetic those mitzvahs are is the Yetzer Hara personified. Why don't you see how pathetic you are, Elam Hazan? Look what I did. I built. What did you do? What are you, Elon Musk? What did you do? What are you, Bill Gates? What did you do? What did you manage? Or just Bozo, whatever his name what did you do? Just a little schnook, whatever it is. Maybe you have a chanut makolet, maybe you have a grocery, maybe even that man. Oh, no, I have a grocery. I have a grocery. What are you, the Waltons? With Walmart? Well, what are you? What are you? Macy's? Why don't you see what a schnooky you are in Olam Hazeh and realize everything you do in Olam Haba is endless? That you're a billionaire, because there's Yitzhar, because there's no Yitzhar. The main Nakuda that we have to take away from this particular Nakuda is, I need to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and ask him to give me the merit of talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and ask him that I should have a taste in my own mitzvahs. Because once you have that, you won ball game. You won. Say that it's all, we'll start again, you start again. Say them, no problem. The main Nekuda Ribono Shel Olam, let me appreciate the greatness of the things, the quote unquote small things that I do. Then I'll be able to have Emunas Tzadikim because I have Emunah myself. They'll have Emunas Tzadikim. Without it, nothing starts. Without it, nothing starts. There's so much to talk about this. We need to keep on talking about it until we're blue in the face, literally. Because that's the most important nakuda in Yiddishkeit. To have a tam in my mitzvahs. But this is Kadosh Baruch Hu is tasting our mitzvahs. We cannot taste our mitzvahs. Our little mitzvahs, our little thing, I go to shul and I daven the whole thing in 20 minutes flat. Okay, but I wasn't shul. Maybe I said that one bracha, one word, b'chavona. I put in my tefillin, I had my talis on. I have to beg and beg to have a little time, because when I'll have a little time, I will want more of it. Because what tastes good, we get more of. B'ezrat Hashem, on Wednesday, we will learn here Likutei Moharan Torah Chaf Beis. We'll continue. It's interesting, the entire Breslov is learning Torah Chaf Beis. It's the Torah Zmanis. And on Thursday, Mitzvah Hashem, we will be in Breslov, in Lachish Mitzvah Hashem. Hopefully to see all of you there. And again, Hanukkah is over. Winter is upon us. Winter is the time of serving Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Gilden and Echt, B'ezrat Hashem. We'll talk more about it.